Okay, then it sounds like we have some objective standards that we can point to. I don't know why you think beauty is any different. For instance, you would agree with me that humanity has to produce in order to survive. You would agree that that's true, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we would agree that that's true. But in order to produce, you have to have young, fertile females to reproduce with. You agree that that's also true, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if that's true, then it stands to complete reason that men would be attracted to young, fertile females because that would lead to reproduction, right?
You could say that like a majority, maybe, what you're talking about. Like,
yes.
You could say that. Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything's in a monolith, but it does make sense that men would be attracted to young, fertile females if we wanted to have, children, right? That makes sense, doesn't it?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So then that would mean that when we're talking about things men are attracted to, which would be the things that led to reproduction. Hang on. Don't need the sisterhood just yet. You can chime in a second. But that would mean then that if it is the case that that men are looking for younger women to reproduce with, because that's the primary edict, then beauty would be at least somewhat objective, because we'd be looking for youthful features, right? What would the youthful features be? Well, let's think about it for a second. All of the things that women enhance themselves with. Let's see, full lips, rosy cheeks, perky breasts, voluptuous hips, hourglass-like shapes, right? All of the things that you do cybernetic enhancements in order to accommodate all seem to be alluding towards a youthful appearance for the purpose of attractiveness, right?
I would say that I also want to make note that I'm talking to like two white guys, and like none of my exes are white, and so like you're talking about like that standard of beauty also, like so.
Which one of your exes do you think would disagree on a youthful women hot?
I mean, if they're not creepy, like if it just depends. Like if someone's
how is that
like
creepy? You just said there's a biological reason for it. Why would that be creepy?
I think if someone is at a certain age and they're constantly seeking like somebody incredibly younger than them constantly, then that just kind of says something about them where they are mentally. But it just depends.
I'm sorry. Do you think people can help who they're attracted to then? So like homosexuals, for instance, can help who they're attracted to, right?
I mean, I don't know anything about that because I'm not.
Yeah. So can you help who you're attracted to?
I mean, I do. Like, yeah, I'm drawn to what I'm drawn to. I guess you could say that.
Oh, okay. So then, if it's a biological function for reproduction, that's what make man horny. That's what make woman horny.
But that you can't say that that's for every man. You're saying that every man is attracted to really young women? That's not true. I have so many men in my life who talk about being attracted to women of different ages and races and sizes.
What's the purpose of sex?
Men wanting to get
for
off?
Pleasure and reproduction?
No. It's for the reason biology would make it pleasurable and a pleasure-seeking activity is because it leads to what?
Well, you're talking to somebody
So, like, for instance, let's say every woman had a thorn bush in her vagina. Do you think that men would be more or less likely to have sex with them?
They would they'll have sex with anything.
Can you answer my question? If every woman on planet Earth had a thorn bush in their vagina and it would cut a man's penis to ribbons,
men will have sex with anything.
Let me ask the question.
Like, they would give it a shot.
Not talking, so I can ask the question. Would men be more or less likely to have sex with them?
Less
more
likely.
Or less likely? Less. Okay, great. So why? Because it's not as pleasurable. Makes total sense to me. So this infers to me then that the reason this is a pleasure-seeking activity is because it leads to reproductive ends, thus the human species continuing, the primary edict of evolution, right? So if that's the case, then men are supposed to be attracted to youthful-looking women, aren't they?
Well, that's not really true in my age bracket.
Answer, please, without the sisterhood.
No, I mean, it feels like you're just like spewing off like, like statistics on stuff. And it's like,
Can you give me a counter argument? Youthful women make man penis hard, therefore man want to have sex with youthful women because that leads to reproduction. Can you give me a counter argument for
that? The ones that have had hysterectomies and vasectomies, like they still want sex and it doesn't reproduce anything.
Man, that argument is
like men will fetishize anything. It's not just youth.
Hang on. Let me respond to your argument. That makes less sense than her argument. Do you think through all of human history, men had X-ray vision and could tell if you had a uterus or not? No, of course not. So what they did was they ascertained fertility based around what? Youthful appearance, perky boobies, right? Voluptuous looking this and that.
I agree with
youthful
that.
Appearances.
But,
so that's the whole point, right?
But I'm still saying at different age brackets, it changes. And they're still as horny as they were when they were younger.
I agree with him.
Yeah, and if those horny men could select for youthful women, wouldn't they?
Well, wouldn't women, if we're talking about sex, go after younger men because they're better in bed.
Because younger men have better quality semen and are able to reproduce more, so they're more attracted to them.
Right.
Makes sense, right?
Why not?
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
So then how could it be creepy to say then
I think
that older men are attracted to younger women when that's a basic biological fact? Of course they are. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
I
can't wait for it to hear it. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're talking about something very instinctively and savage, like we are animals or something, and actually we are humans. We are, yeah, but we are civilized and we have emotions and
what does that have to do with what you're attracted to?
Yeah, I know, but we need to separate things. One thing is what you want to have sex because of the species and you want to reproduce yourself and everything. And that is very instinctively and savage, which animals have. But we are humans and we have emotions and we love people and we are very sensitive. So it's not only about how they are young.
That argument falls flat too, and here's why. Yes, it's true. You can develop deep emotional connections with people, but usually you're attracted to them first. Usually, when you're dating, you're attracted to those people. If you're not attracted to them, you're never going to date, thus never having an emotional connection, yeah?
I understand.
Hang on. So if you're going for what you're attracted to, right, most men are going to be attracted towards youthful-looking women. Most. Would you like the statistics on this? There's more statistical data to back up men being attracted to youthful women than almost any other type of data set I can point to.
I disagree totally.
Disagree based on what? I can't wait to hear the argument.
I think if you like someone, it happened to me many times that I really liked someone and I thought he was so hot and he's so good in bed and everything, but after talk to him like 1 hour or two, that disappeared completely. So I was attached. I realized what I really like and what I'm attached to somebody to pick as a partner or I don't know, like company, the mind. Like, have you heard about being attracted to the mind or to the way of thinking of the other person? It's not only physical, everything.
You're holding a self-contradictory position. There's so many times there's guys who I think they're hot and I fuck them and then find out later that I
didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I say I like someone and No, I didn't say that. I say I like someone.
What does good in bed mean?
I felt attracted to, but after I realized what is really attracted is the way how they think and how they look.
I can test this really quick.
Yeah, I got it. So here, let me ask you a question, okay? You have a selection between two different men, okay? One man is 56 and makes the exact same amount of money as a man who's 26, and their personality is about equal. The 26-year-old, though, much more attractive than the 56-year-old. Who would you select for?
50. All my boyfriends are 50-something.
Why
my
would you select for the 50-something-year-old?
For experience.
26-year-old. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
If they had the same exact traits and made the exact same money, why would you go for the 50-year-old?
I feel more loved by people that have more experience in relationships. So I think if 55 or somebody old will be better for me because I feel like I'm very mature and I like to have very conversations and talk about life and future and everything. And
yeah, but in the hypothetical, the 26-year-old has the exact same traits as the 56-year-old.
But you're saying the 56 is uglier.
Meaning he has the exact same emotional maturity, long walks on the beach, whatever those emotional needs are. Tell me then why it would be that you would select for the less attractive mate. Why?
Most of the time I felt bored with people that is younger than me at the end. So I don't find nothing in common with people that is younger. So all my friends have my age or they are older.
You're not listening. They have the exact same traits, 100%. 100%. They're the same intelligence, make the same amount of money. They give you the same emotional attention. They have the same exact traits. Give me a single reason why you would select for the less attractive one.
And you're less likely to be a widow if they're younger than you.
That makes no sense. Why would you select for the less attractive one if all the traits were equalized? That makes no sense.
I think that if you want to make this about age, they should like be both good looking, you know. But you're saying one's ugly, one's this.
Wait, I want to
completely down.
I want to test this out though, really quick with you. How tall was your last boyfriend?
How tall?
How tall? Height?
Like 5'9".
Well, you guys use centimeters in Argentina, right?
Yeah, I'm from Argentina.
Okay. What about you? Your boyfriend, how tall was he?
Yeah, 5'9".
5'9". You're in a relationship. How tall is your boyfriend?
5'7".
Damn, bro, what the fuck?
6'5".
Into the mic. You guys speak into the mic.
6'5".
What about you?
6'2".
Okay. Your current guy you're seeing, how tall is he?
6'2".
6'2"?
My current boyfriend's 6'3".
6'3"?
I think 5'9".
5'9". Okay, so we got a little bit of mixed bags here, but it's interesting to me that here on the panel, we've got a cross section of different women here, and like 3 or 4 of them, you guys are dating men who are in the top 3 percentile of height, 6'2", 6'3", etc. So it's like, you say, for example, well, you know, we've grown past just caring about looks and other things matter, but like women care about height. A man's height has nothing to do with his character or how good of a person he'll be in a relationship, or really anything, but women seem to care quite a bit about height. So that's always interesting to me.
It does affect some things, like the relationships among other men and their social status, in a sense. The height,
yeah, sure.
potentially.
I don't
Like they
I
say
think-
that, like for every inch taller that you are, like the more likely you are to be CEO or something stupid.
Yes, I agree that being tall as a man confers upon it certain social benefits, just like pretty privilege, for example.
Agreed.
There's like a height privilege.
But I'm just
pretty
saying that
privilege.
can impact your, like the way you, like little man syndrome versus, you know, like a big dude that's just like really chill, you know? So I think that it can impact the way that you function.
Yeah, I
because of
wouldn't
your height.
even dispute that. But this idea that what she's talking about is, oh, but you know, we've evolved past all these things. But you would agree that there are short men who have those same traits as the tall men, the confidence, they're really successful, they could be just as capable of protecting you, even better. Like a 5'9" MMA fighter is going to be able to protect you better than a 6'2" lanky guy. But a lot of women have this evolutionary biological, you can't even really articulate why. It's just a thing inside you.
She actually confirms it. Doesn't she confirm it by saying it's because even inside of pack hierarchy of men, that taller men are treated differently than shorter men. So thus giving a preference to that, which means social status, which means better for mating and reproduction. Like isn't she making that point for you in a way?